Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the Index of Industrial Production and the Annual Survey of Industries. Let us first understand what is the current affair. The Central Statistics Organization, the CSO, has released its recent data on the factory output growth. And according to the CSO data, the factory output growth has slipped to a 17-month low in the month of November 2018. So based on the report of CSO, let us understand in deep what is IIP, that is Index of Industrial Production, and also about the Annual Survey of Industries or the ASI. Now first let us look into the IIP or the Index of Industrial Production. So coming to IIP or the Index of Industrial Production, it is a composite indicator. So here composite indicator means various parameters are taken into consideration. So it is based on various parameters or various factors or various indicators. So it is a composite indicator, that means various parameters are taken into consideration while compiling the IIP or the Index of Industrial Production. And secondly, it measures the changes in the volume of production. So here the volume of production is important. So it understands or it indicates any change, increase or decrease in the volume of production. And thirdly, it considers basket of commodities. That means a specific sample group is taken up by the CSO in compiling the IIP. So it is based on a basket of commodities. It is industrial products. So what are these commodities? These commodities are industrial products. And CSO compares this with the chosen base year. So base year is 2011-12. So base year for Index of Industrial Production IIP is 2011-12. So CSO compares it with the base year. And the IIP is compiled and it is published on a monthly basis by the CSO or the Central Statistical Office. So it is a monthly publication with a time lag of 6 weeks from the reference month. So within 6 weeks it will publish. So these are the basic facts you should understand about IIP. Now the reason why I have gone into all the details, all the minute facts about IIP is because it's a very important topic for your civil service preliminary examination. You might have seen in the previous year prelims questions, various statements would be given. You will have to choose the right statements. So in those type of questions, you can expect a question on IIP this year because the performance of IIP has come down. The UPSC has previously asked about core industries, the performance of core industries, which among the following core industries has the maximum production. Such kind of questions have already appeared in the UPSC preliminary examination. So this year, you can expect a question on IIP, so you should be thorough about all the facts related to IIP. It's a composite indicator. It considers the change in volume. Thirdly, a basket of industrial products are taken into consideration. It measures short-term changes. It is based on base year and it is compiled and published by the CSO on a monthly basis. So such type of minute facts you should be able to understand. The reason is that later in this lecture, when we come to ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries, we will learn about the difference between IIP and ASI. We will compare both. So you should be very clear that IIP or Index of Industrial Production is a short-term indicator because it's prepared on a monthly basis. So this thing should be very clear to you. Now moving forward, we will see what is the significance of IIP or the Index of Industrial Production. The first reason why it is significant is that IIP or the Index of Industrial Production is the only measure on the physical volume of production. We have seen that it measures an increase or decrease in the volume of production. So it is the only measure to understand any change in the physical volume. So that is why it is significant. And secondly, it will also provide a general level of industrial activity in the economy. Thirdly, it plays a very important role in policy making. Government, various ministries, example Ministry of Finance, the RBI, etc. uses this IIP for policy decisions. So based on the performance of the industries which are reflected through the IIP or the Index of Industrial Production, government can take different decisions or policies. Ministry of Finance can undertake various initiatives. Also, RBI can formulate monetary policies based on the indicators provided by the IIP. And also it forms a crucial input for the compilation of GVA, that is gross value added, and the GDP. And for analytical purposes, the IIP reports are used by the financial intermediaries, policy analysts, private companies, analytical agencies, etc. So these are the importance of IIP or the Index of Industrial Production. Now let us understand in the year 2017 what were the changes made to IIP. So we have already seen that the compilation of IIP by the CSO is based on a base year. So in the year 2017 the base year was changed. It was changed to 2011-12. Earlier it was 2004-5. So from 2004-5 the base year was changed to 2012. And in addition 149 items were added into the list. We have seen that it is based on a basket of commodities. So into the basket 149 new items were added and 124 items that were already in the sample group, they were deleted. So these were the recent changes made to IIP in the year 2017. Now let us understand what is ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries and how does this differ from IIP. So first of all, ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries is the main source of long-term industrial statistics. So here it is long-term, but in case of IIP we have seen it is short-term. So the major difference is IIP is short-term and ASI is long-term. IIP is a monthly indicator, but ASI is an annual indicator. So this is long and this is short. And for the annual revised estimates, the CSO replaces the IIP with the ASI. Now, coming to the second difference, ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries is a record-based survey. It means that all the industries or the establishments registered under the Factories Act of 1948 will come under the ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries. So, the criteria is that whether an establishment or an industry is registered with the Factories Act of 1948. This is the criteria. But in case of IIP, what we have seen, it is based on a set of items or a basket of commodities which will be chosen in the base year. So in 2017, we have seen the base year was changed to 2011-12. And then what happened? Few items were deleted, few items were added. So when the base year will be set up, a basket of commodities will be selected, and this is based on a basket of commodities which are selected with the base year. The IIP or the Index of Industrial Production is estimated. But what about ASI or Annual Survey of Industries? It is based on a record. The record is whether an establishment is registered with the Factories Act or not. So this is the second difference. Now coming to the third difference, ASI or the Annual Survey of Industries captures all the new items. If a new establishment gets registered with the Factories Act, it will be added. But in case of IIP does not capture the information of new items. It is based on a basket of commodities. Now the fourth difference is in the growth rate of IIP and the ASI. In case of ASI, the growth rate is based on value added. That means output minus input. This is called value added. So, the growth rate of ASI will depend on the value added. But in case of IIP, the growth rate depends on the volume. So, volume of production is the criteria for the growth rate in IIP. But in case of ASI, it is based on value added or output minus input. And also, IIP considers a basket of commodities. Therefore, the sample is very small compared to ASI. ASI will consider all the establishments which are registered under the Factories Act of 1948. But in case of IIP, it considers only a basket of commodities and therefore the sample group is very less. Now, another major difference between the IIP and the ASI is that the establishments that are selected under the IIP, they are generally larger in size. But in case of ASI, it will cover both large and smaller units. Whether it is registered with the Factories Act or not is the only criterion. Now, this is the most important difference also between IIP and ASI. Because what happens in case of IIP? It covers only larger enterprises. So what happens? The growth rates in the IIP can be smaller, and the growth rate in ASI can be larger because it covers the small units as well. Sometimes the smaller units with thinner base will show higher growth. So because of this difference in IIP and ASI, sometimes ASI can show a higher growth rate compared to IIP, and this can lead to a divergence between the growth rates given by IIP and ASI. Now this is the difference between ASI and IIP. Hope this concept is clear to you. This is a very important topic for UPSC, especially in the preliminary examination. You can be asked questions based on ASI and IIP. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries regarding your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.